So since the pandemic, I will say people have gotten much friendlier. Much friendlier. When I take my
It's like
bike
when you're
out,
hiking in the woods and you pass somebody, you're like, hey, how's it going? Like, don't kill me type of niceness. Yeah.
Mike, I don't hike in the woods, but you can tell us about your experiences in northern Michigan.
Yeah, no, in California, when I was hiking, I noticed how much nicer people were to each other when you pass somebody. There's just you two on a big deserted fucking fire road.
Well, because something.
Because you don't know if they're a serial killer.
Yeah, they're nice out of self-defense. Yeah.
I watch a lot of
notice that, like, hey, white people are so nice in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, you become a Forensic Files episode if you don't wave really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're much nicer out here, man. Women are much friendlier when I wave and say good morning on my bike, because I take my bike out twice a day, JT. And they close the beaches, so you can't ride on the beach. And they close the gym in the complex, so you can't use that. So I just ride around the fucking neighborhood, till I break a sweat, and my mind is going into atrophy. I noticed this, guys, as comics. I don't know how much you guys are experiencing this. You, especially JT, because you are on the road so much doing stand-up. Take for granted the sharpness of my mind from my going into atrophy and getting dull, and needing exercise to just keep on life support, basically.
Well, what's interesting about that is I see a lot of comics saying, oh, I'm going to get so much writing done. And I'm like, you're out of your mind. That's so crazy to me that people would use this lockdown as like a time to write. Because for me, part of the reason I like doing the road so much is that's where you get stories and experiences and inspiration to write new material. Like I haven't thought about writing comedy in this thing. My brain's not, I'm concentrating on other things because it's not even in that realm. And I was supposed to record last weekend. I was supposed to record my new special last week. Supposed to be in Gainesville, Florida, recording for 800-Pound Gorilla Warner Brothers. And part of me was super upset and bummed out, but another part of me is like, I haven't been on stage in fucking 6 weeks. Like
that might not go well.
No, I'm like, I was supposed to have 2 weeks with Eddie. We were supposed to do festivals and stuff and lead up to it. Very intentionally laid out that way, so I'll be sharp. And now I'm like, I don't remember. I got to dust off this hour. I don't know, So I feel you, man. Yeah, definitely. I've been trying to exercise other parts of my brain by doing reading books and writing non-comedy stuff and working on, toys and art projects, because absolutely you can just turn into the guy that just watches Netflix and just doesn't get off the couch.
Well, how about Mike? By the way, I love this look. Thank you so much.
You can tell you're on Breaking Bad. That's legit as fuck.
He was the guy. Wait a minute. He was the guy with the little shirt with the tie on Breaking Bad.
No, this is. Are you ready for this? This is me. Vince Gilligan sent this painting commission of everyone in the set that says, "Hey, this is Vince." He goes, "Find yourself in the Where's Waldo." So here's all the guys, and if you could see it, that's me right there on fire.
There's a reflection, dude.
Was that cigarette related? Because.
Yeah, well, they burned me in prison. Yeah.
They burned him in prison. He's the guy they kill in prison on Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Dennis.
So what I was going to tell you, though, in regards to everything kind of dropping down, like things are going to be like the new normal. I think what's going to happen overall is going to be you're going to see it in every realm. You're going to see like millionaires are going to be the new middle class now. There's going to be way more billionaires after this. And in regards to the comedy circuit, what you said and what I said half jokingly may be true. You're going to see a lot of YouTube people that early on we saw that when YouTube first started happening, these people that weren't comedians were actually getting stage time because they had followings.
Mike, they have to be able to talk in public. They have to be
that's the problem.
In public, Mike.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's what would happen early on. But I think you're going to see a second wave of it happening once the gates lift. You're going to see a lot more of that bullshit, I think.
Like a second wave of the virus is what you're saying.
Yeah, the virus is going to change a lot. Yeah. That's my prediction. But hopefully things, like I said, natural selection will happen again. And then they'll get weeded out like they did the first wave. And I think everything should be back to normal. I mean, ideally, I would think November or December, things will start getting back to normal for the comedians. I think.
I
First
hope
of all-
so. I got a
First of
festival
all-
the last week in October I'm putting on, so it better.
I think it will.
Yeah.
Mike, I think we figured something out, not about this virus or the comedy, but about you doing interviews. If you can walk around with a cigarette, with your phone, you can do any interview. You're owning this shit, buddy.
All right, so this is a 12-inch figure. This is, you remember this scene in The Shining where the bear suit guy is blowing?
Sure.
I was just going to ask you that. I swear to God.
So I made a 12-inch bear guy.
I swear to God, I was going to ask you to do that.
Like one of those Star Wars collectibles we had as kids.
That's so perfect.
Yeah, so it's an actual bear suit. Like it's a furry bear suit that I found.
Oh, dude.
And,
I swear to God, I was just going to ask you that. Like, you should make a figure of that.
And here's Turkle for you, Steve. There's Lloyd.
Oh, Lloyd.
With
that is like
and a bottle of bourbon.
Lloyd is the bartender, and what's the other? Delbert Grady. You know, the guy who plays.
I was going to make Delbert Grady as well.
Can I ask you, did you have to go through Stephen King channel to get clearance?
Well, you know what's wild is I when I started doing these, I was worried about that because I'm a guy that pays rights for stuff. You know, like I'm not going to rip people off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The motto of my stuff is one and done. So whatever I do one, and that's the collectability aspect of it. And if you do one, it's considered an art piece. And so with the art piece aspect of it, I would never mass produce any of this without permission. I would never, But
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, if you do one, it's generally, I don't know if it's just a matter of it's not enough for them to bother. But
I never knew that.
Yeah, and so a lot of it also, like this stuff is probably honestly a little squicky because it's a movie. But if you do stuff like public figures, like I did, Eddie, in theory, Eddie, because he's a public figure, I made him as a magician for his bit.
That's right.
And,
he hates magicians?
Oh, yeah, he has this bit about how he hates magicians, and so that's why I made him as a magician.
I saw it in Ruins. I saw that.
Yeah.
Hey, make me feel secure!
Exactly. So, what happened? The fucking quarter got bigger, so I put a giant quarter in his hand.
Just trying to stay sane like everybody else, I guess.
It looks like you're in front of a shower curtain. Am I wrong?
You are wrong. It's a duvet cover, but I had just have my it's just visually it's like a fancy shower curtain that's for my comforter. So I got it at IKEA, so chill. It's like really nice.
Okay. I was just saying there could be some signs of cracking if you're recording in front of a shower curtain.
Well, luckily it's not. If there's blood on the shower curtain, then I think you should be concerned. But currently, I'm doing all right.
Okay. And Tarik, what are you up to there in the swamp? Are you what are things like? Give us some report from Middle America.
People down here are like, not having the beach is freaking everybody out. Everyone's become a rebel now. And they're like, I'm going to the beach, I don't care. And people are getting Tom Brady's getting arrested for
what?
It was like him. I used to watch his specials all the time when I was a kid. It was him and Bill Cosby's himself and Robin Williams live at the Roxy were like the three things that I used to watch, like little kids watch Frozen. I would just watch them over and over and over again. And every time we go to Movie Gallery or the fucking Family Video, I would always want to rent those. And so I was super excited to meet Gallagher, the comic that I've loved since I was like 7, and I went to the old Orlando Improv, and he was doing a show there. Now, mind you, this is obviously, I was like 20, 21 maybe at the time. And I went and saw the show, and I went up to him afterwards and I was like, Mr. Gallagher, like this is so exciting for me. Like I was such a huge fan. Like I'm such a huge fan of yours. Like I actually just started doing stand up. I just wanted to say you like inspired me to try and all this. And he was like, oh yeah? He goes, that fucking inspired you? And then he just walked away, and I was like, damn.
Man, you got a straight education about show business right
Yeah.
there, like a
Yeah.
shot to the fucking shot to
But
the
I
head.
also got sweet redemption when I saw him at the fucking Why Not Lounge picking out cigarette butts out of it. And then he was trying to impress us. He didn't remember meeting me, obviously, but he was there just talking
This
about
is a different day. This is a different day.
Yeah, this was like 1 or 2 years later. 1 or 2 years later, he showed up at the open mic. And yeah, because there was still no Orlando Improv at the time. And he was just talking about how he could have been a rocket scientist and all this other stuff, and was like saying shit to try to impress us. And then I was like, I win because I don't care. I don't give a shit.
I will be honest with you guys, and I'm not going to confess this here. You may have to edit this out.
Uh-oh.
It's been a lot easier being black than I thought it was going to be.
Justify it. Say why. Tell me your testify.
Wait,
Why?
your father warned you that it wasn't going to be easy when you were young.
I think he put in me like hey, you might want to dodge this. It's like,
How are you going to dodge it?
I thought I was
You're gonna put on white face. You're gonna go white chicks. You're gonna go one of the Marlon Brothers. Like how could you?
You know what I'm saying? And then like even with the white chicks, I choose the white chicks.
I meant like be one, not like.
So I don't.
Like fuck
I
them.
just like I see racism coming like rain, and I'm like, let me just go inside. It's about to be racist.
Oh, you dodged it. You've dodged.
Yeah, I've
I see
avoided it. Yeah, I can see it coming now. It's been a lot easier once you can see it coming.
So you don't even let them get to the I'm not racist, but by the time it's like I'm not you're out. That's when
don't even let them get close.
Leave.
Yeah, don't even let them get close. Yeah.
The R in racist is you scooting out of the frame.
Yeah, me and Steve, we lived around
I'm not racist.
We lived around the corner from each other for years, and I avoided them until I vetted the family to make sure they weren't racist. It took 14 years.
His father would say to me when he would see me, he would say, by the way, I had moved away. I would come visit my parents. My parents still live around the corner from Tarik there in Florida. I would see his dad, and his dad would go, Tarik's doing comedy. Tarik's doing comedy. And I'd be like, yeah, okay. And then finally I was like, all right, a few years have passed. This guy's probably funny now. It's time to look him up. And he's still in it because your dad kept telling me he's still in it. He hasn't stopped. He wouldn't say it. He was cautious about it. He was like, I don't know. He hasn't stopped. He wasn't saying it like, your parents aren't supportive. My parents weren't supportive, but he loved you, and he kept notifying me that you were still in it. And I was like, okay, this dude's probably funny now.
Yeah.
And then we started doing comedy together.
Yeah. I started out, I don't know how you guys started in comedy, but I started out hot, and it was a sharp plummet. My first year was like, you're going to be great.
And his uncle started taking tap dance lessons because his uncle thought it was going to be.
He's like, it's going to be me. There's a future in tap.
I've seen his uncle tap dance.
Yes, you have, on Arsenio.
Yeah. He brought his uncle out and made him dance. I remember
That's right. That's right. They went to commercial break with his uncle tap dancing.
Yeah. What the hell are we watching? That's what I thought in my mind. What am I watching right now?
I'm enough.
Here's the main thing. She's an attractive Jewish woman who would mount me, and to quote, as many times as I need.
Multiple mounting and a possible emotional affair.
Wow. Dude, that's gonna be part of the sizzle reel. I'm
I
just
think
letting
Dave's
you know.
about to have an aneurysm right now.
When we try to sell the show to Hulu. All right. My next guest is, this is one of my best friends and one of the funniest dudes I know. He is a prolific voice actor. He is the co-founder. He's a veteran. He is a co-founder of he didn't put this in his intro, but I just love it so much, I'm going to say it. He was the co-founder of the Nation of Improv all-black comedy troupe, which was probably the last show I hosted before this shit, was the Nation of Improv comedy show. And he was the last person I saw before the lockdown. So Fielding, the first person I was supposed to see, and Dave Carter, the last person I was supposed to see before the lockdown, my dear friend, the hilarious Dave Carter. And he's from Chicago. Hey, Dave.
What the? That was the improv show. We were the granddaddy of all the black improv troops. That was like literally like 10, 15 years ago.
And he has a good deal of ability to correct my details. Thank
Not
you,
yours.
Dave.
Most people's, not just yours. That's the price.
Yeah, you
of
do.
leading an improv
That's
show.
true. That's true. Not just me.
Not personal.
How are you, brother? How's
I'm
the
okay.
family?
I'm okay. Like I'm good. Like Fielding said, like I'm not doing the homeschooling today. We got a 70-year-old in our house, so her and mommy are out there trying to figure it out. I'm just happy to be awake.
How many? You just have one, Coco.
Yes, the
And
one.
Fielding,
is
how many
enough.
do you have?
Yeah, similar. I have an 8-year-old girl. So can we get them together on like a romper room, Sweet Valley High Zoom, and just get them?
You know what? I think I might have made I might have created a peace connection with this show.
It would be cool to try because you know how they are. They don't want to talk. They just like it'd just be a silence on Zoom, just like, what do you have?
And then in the background, we're like pushing them to do a podcast.
Which would be more successful than ours, by the way.
Oh no, anything I've ever done, like,
the kids are always more
podcast,
Coco is a model and an actress, right, already?
Coco already broke me down. Like she was at 5. We had a breakfast meeting and she told me like, Daddy, I want to make my special, her movie. She has a movie she wants to do. And she said, I want to keep it simple, Dad. I want to do it by the numbers. It's going to be 22 minutes. It's going to be on Netflix. I said, Coco, can you write something first? Can we write something that's maybe 4 or 5 minutes? Because you haven't written anything. He goes, Daddy, let's just do it right. 22 minutes on Netflix. I'm like, I'm not going to say that you should beat your child or kill your child because they are worth at least $700 in stimulus money right now. But the key factor is if they stay busy on their own, you're golden. If they can't stay busy on your own,
100%.
You're dead.
100%. I called her a bitch like under my breath yesterday. Like I just couldn't handle it. I just was like, you're fucking, and she marches in and goes, did you just call me a bitch? And I was like, I didn't even know I was like a witch. And she's like, don't bullshit me. I've seen, and like, she's kind of cute. She loves to see the beginning of my special, but I can't show her anything else. So she weirdly thinks I'm somebody, but I'm not. I'm a total nobody.
Okay, that brings me to an interesting question. So you have kids and you're Fielding, you're a relatively foul-mouthed comedian. Yeah. Dave can be clean, but I've seen him not be. How does this, if you suddenly get, you blow up and they want you to do something edgy and crazy, how is that going to play into, how are you going to keep that away from your kids in this weird age? And are you even going to try, or are you just going to let them see it at 7 or 8 years old?
I don't think Coco's ever seen any of my stuff. She wants to. She's seen one play I've done, but as a whole, she's an actor. So like, she said curse words for a couple auditions, and we've talked about it. I don't swear around her.
Yeah.
I don't swear at all. My wife's something else, but I don't swear. So she doesn't really question the language thing too much yet.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I mean, she's already been so much of a cock block for me that I'm not going to let her get into my art. This is wonderful. You are contributing to my sobriety, Stephen Lolli.
Well, we'll make you a regular. How about that? You'll just be a regular.
This is why she's going to mount you.
And Dave.
Oh, I'm mounting you right now with my eyes.
I want to tell you it's better to be told that you're going to be mounted by a beautiful Jewish woman on camera. I can put this on dating profiles than to actually be mounted. Like this has value.
But that's exactly it. Talking about mounting is usually better than the actual mounting.
As a married person, I agree.
Don't you think?
Dave understands. Dave, you used to pick me up and take me out. You used to call me up and go, Steve, can I come over? I need to get out of the house. So Dave, I mean, you might be making Dave feel like your stories might be making Dave feel more hinged, because he used to call me up, and he took me to Jumbo's clown room for the first time.
I've always wanted to know what goes on there.
I used to write jokes there.
No.
And tip girls.
There's a writer's room at Jumbo's clown room?
I had one.
You're so cool, Dave.
Yes, please.
I think the worst thing is to be married to a middle-aged, balding character actor who's a narcissist, who talks about himself all day long. How about that?
I'm not balding. So then I hear you.
we should tag him on social media.
You're a cat, Dave.
I heard that.
Oh no, my husband is
Look, I totally get you,
Here
man.
you have to come in. Say your piece. Say your piece.
Here's the problem with doing a comedy show inside your own fucking house. Is that I hear every goddamn word, and I won't have it.
Well, you know, she said you're a narcissist, and you're coming in on a show you weren't booked on. So,
but I get him. That's why I keep my wife and kid outside.
That's right. That's right. Okay, I'll let you get back to your.
Hey, we're tagging you on social media. We're tweeting this out.
You're tweeting it out.
You appeared on this show. You're part of it now.
Oh no.
That used to mean something, didn't it?
No, it actually means a lot. These guys are actually in the epicenter of Hollywood, so you should be glad.
Our society is falling apart.
Okay,
It doesn't mean
can you
anything.
get the fuck out?
You have a very nice house, sir.
I feel
Anyway.
like, can we see a picture of your wife? If you have a picture, you should always have a picture handy of your wife.
Hey, Cindy.
Yeah, Cindy, come on in. I think this will be a more civil than in Fielding's house. I think this will be a more happy encounter.
We're like Requiem for a Dream, but for old people.
Come here.
That's horrible, man. Look, he can't even get her. It's the opposite. He can't get her to come in.
You can't even get her to make
No, she doesn't want to be part of this shit.
She's so independent and interesting and just like, I don't need your giggle patch.
The total
She does not need my giggle patch.
situation. Is she coming? Hey, Cindy!
Hi. Oh,
Hi, Coco. Oh, there's Coco.
Hi, Coco.
Hi, Coco. I think we're going to be able to
to
sell this to Netflix now that you appeared on this show.
As long as it doesn't interrupt your deal, right?
Hey, Coco, remember to say to your mom, go Bears. Go Bears.
Why not?
Because why? What do we say about the Bears? You can say it.
Go ahead.
He won't get mad. Boo Bears.
All right, beat it, kid. You bother me.
No, I love them. They're the best guest stars ever.
Oh, right here.
You created monsters now, dude.
Yeah, I did. Oh,
That's for my birthday.
Chicago! Dave's from Chicago. Dave's from.
My father-in-law said it best. It was a Bears-Packers game, and it was in Chicago. I said, I can't wait for the Bears-Packers game. And he looked at me and goes, the what game? I said, Bears-Packers. He goes, who? I went, the Packers-Bears game? He goes, yes, I'm looking forward to that too.
Dave, you represent the ultimate submission of a Chicagoan by marrying that woman.